Jones and Keefe here on WEEI. Celtics just smashed the Knicks again. 118-105 does not do that game justice.
No, Knicks had that run where they made it obviously look much more competitive than it was.
I mean, every single time these two teams play, it's a 20-point lead for the Celtics before you can even blink.
Bloodbath.
It's unbelievable.
Dominated. Yeah, dominated.
The Knicks were down 27 in that game yesterday. They just got smoked by Cleveland the other night by 37. So I think I read this to you in one of the breaks. They're 0-7 against OKC, Cleveland, and Boston this year.
They are pretenders.
So it's not just a bad Celtics matchup. No. I thought this was their biggest competition in the East, and it's another thing I got wrong, Keefe. I'm wrong about this because the Celtics should have no fear of this team if they see them in the postseason.
They don't. And I forget if it was Josh Hart or it was one of the Knicks, like during the All-Star break, they were asked about their struggles with the Celtics. Like, oh, well, we've been missing guys, and, like, we're not scared of them, and if we're full strength, like, the Celtics are never full strength either. Like, so great, you get a guy back, they get a guy back. Like, they're it's been uncompetitive. They've played 3 times this year, 132-109, 131-104, and then yesterday's 118-105. But as you said, big third quarter from the Knicks made that game look a lot closer than it was.
Well, and we said this after the opener. Like, the opener didn't shake my confidence in New York because
it was the first time that, Karl-Anthony Towns is playing with them.
They got all these new pieces together. The Celtics looked great that night. Like, we came in and gave the Celtics a lot of credit. I remember giving Tatum specifically a lot of credit for that game and how he came out aggressive and was scoring and shooting well and did it early. But I wasn't dismissing the Knicks way back in October because the team just got together. These last 2 losses for the Knicks head-to-head against the Celtics, 131-104 on February 8th, and then this one last night, or yesterday, rather. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've had the whole year to gel. We're past the trade deadline. There's no reinforcements coming. Like, this is what they are, and they've gotten smoked again. So, yeah, the Knicks are not for real, and I thought the real competition in the East was New York and Cleveland. Well, cross New York off the list. It's just Cleveland. If it even is Cleveland, and I don't really even know that I believe they're a real threat to the Celtics.
So I don't think they're a threat. I think that would be the toughest series to this point. They've played really well, so I'm not going to ignore them. Although we've seen teams have the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference in years past that weren't really, truly title contenders. Like the Al Horford Hawks had some really good regular seasons, and that might be kind of what the Cavs are right now. Travis Thomas was in for you on Friday. Mm-hmm. He's still not ruling out the Bucks.
I would rule them.
That's what I said. I go. They got Doc Rivers coaching, but he's saying like Giannis and Lillard are both obviously great players, but I'm like, I still don't see it. I see the fact that they're great players. But Giannis has like 0 killer instinct.
Yeah,
and like now that he won, I don't think he cares that much. Lillard doesn't seem to be a great fit with them, and then they now have to go to Kyle Kuzma as their third guy.
He's not a failure. He steps to success.
Yeah, I guess what a horrible quote. What a horrible quote that is.
I hated that. Loser comment.
Yeah.
And that's a guy who's won. He went out, he won a championship, and now he's not apparently motivated to do it anymore because that is a loser comment. Bobby Portis is suspended. They traded Chris Middleton that I didn't like. No, the Bucks aren't a threat.
No, they're not.
So it's really Cleveland, and I don't even believe in Cleveland. Like, I'm with you. Like, they'd probably give the Celtics the best series. Yeah. Maybe they make it 5 or 6 games, but if the Knicks are not going to compete with the Celtics, and it looks like they're not, well, then punch the ticket to the NBA Finals. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
And the worst news for the Cavs is they'll have home court in that series, which against the Celtics you don't want.
No, you don't.
You don't want. The Celtics are road warriors. You don't want to face the Celtics.
You want a Game 7 in Boston.
That's right.
The way they're going this year.
That'd be their best chance. But yeah, like Indiana, Detroit, those are the other teams that are in the top 6 in the Eastern Conference. And we talked about during the trade deadline how a lot of the top talent sort of got shipped out. Right? Like guys like, and I don't even know how much contenders they were, but like Jimmy Butler and Zach LaVine, like they're leaving the Eastern Conference, and not for the most part, nobody really joined the East. The West is loading up, so I do think whoever comes out of the West, they're going to be battle tested. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 difficult rounds to get there. Like that's going to be a good series. But in the East, you really can't talk yourself into there being like a real threat.
I was trying to with the Knicks. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Terp had some good numbers. Celtics have played the Knicks 3 times. They've had an 18-plus lead in the first half of all 3 games. So, again, it's like it's over before it even starts. Yeah. It was 24 in the opener, 18, 21.
The first quarter, didn't they, yesterday?
Yeah.
They were just ran out. Terp also had a great stat in the before we went on the air. Luke Cornett leads the league in net rating. Is that what he said?
That's not his strongest stat. But he had this one.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to Terp on Wednesday, Celtics Wednesday, here on Jones and Keefe. Celtics time trailing against the Knicks this year. The opener, 29 seconds.
Oof.
Second game on February 8th, Didn't trail.
No.
And 21 seconds last night. In 144 minutes against the Knicks this year,
Yeah.
Boston has trailed for a grand total of 50 seconds.
Less than
Duck
a minute.
boats.
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute.
So that team's going to beat them in a 7-game series?
Nope.
Like, no, nobody can predict that. Nobody
Nope.
can say that. It's not happening.
Right
That would be the second round. Because, well, assuming the Knicks win their first round matchup.
Right.
But right now, that's your 2-3 seed. And with however many games left to play, the Celtics are 6 games back of Cleveland. So even if the Celtics play well, I think they're pretty much locked into the 2 seed.
they're not going to catch it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could, but I wouldn't wager on that by any means. Are they heating up at the right time? Did they kind of get through what a lot of people told us in real time? And I see the Twitch chat saying we're flip-flopping and taking victory laps and like.
I'm not taking any victory laps.
Maybe.
I still thought they were going to be better.
No, they're taking victory laps
go
in the
ahead.
Twitch
Yeah,
chat.
take a
Like,
lap.
oh, these guys were wrong. They're flip-flopping. and
get
this
some
is well,
champagne,
look,
yeah.
a lot of people told us in January the team's just bored. And early February, they're just bored and they're losing games at home. And this is what happens with champions. Yeah, you might be right because it looks like they're heating up and getting right at the right time.
Well, Missoula was saying that too. Not that. Well, yeah, he kind of was. Remember, he was just like, "Did you think it was going to be easier? Or do you think we're just going to come rolling out there?" And you and I were like, "Yeah, kind of did think you were going to roll to 68 wins." And so he was kind of saying this stuff all along and had confidence that they were going to come out of it. And to this point, they definitely had. By the way, did you see the pictures making the rounds of their documentary red carpet?
You were telling me about. I had not
Joe
seen them until this
Mazzulla?
morning. Yeah.
Oh my God. Just stone face, crazy eyes, looking at the camera. He's taking pictures with like Jaylen Brown and Bill Simmons and Wick Grossbeck, and it's just every one of them looks like a lunatic.
Yeah, we're gonna have to next time it's Joe Mazzulla or a serial killer.
That's the face of it now.
Joe Mazzulla or what was it? A Halloween
A villain.
or
Okay,
villain.
they look like they're dead, but they come back to life.
He's just got his arms straight down, wearing like an all black long sleeve shirt, and
like
just staring at you.
It's like a shark's eyes is what those are. Just dead
Look
eyes.
at the one next to Tatum. Tatum's got like his big smile. Like Jaylen Brown's like happy to be there, and then there's Missoula. Looks like he's being held hostage in the middle.
What did the court taste like?
Blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just picture
Love this
those
guy.
words coming out of that face.
Looks like they photoshopped him into the one with Wick. It looks like that was like a picture from some other event, and then they put him in there.
It looks like he just got added in. 617-779-7937. You can watch along on twitch.tv/BostonWEEI and on YouTube.